Hello, today we'll be talking about how to rush in Hypixel Skywars. With this, we'll cover how to loot fast, what maps to use, as well as what kits, etc. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, I'd appreciate a lot. Join my Discord server in the description, and also follow my Twitch, which is also in the description, and enjoy. The best kit I recommend for rushing in Skywars is, if you go to here, for normal, I'd say it is Disco, because it gives you, like, decent armor that you can rush with. And for insane, I would say it's armor, since it already gives you like decent armor to start off with. There's also different kits that you can play. Also, if you're gonna rush, this is a must. Even if you're just playing in general without rushing, you must get Bulldozer. This basically gives you strength 1 for 5 seconds when you're maxed out. Next tip I'd give you is to at least learn speed bridging or any other bridging that just is not slow bridging, because you don't even need to do it like consistently that far, because for example some of these maps only require 2 to 3 blocks to bridge to mid. For example, 1, 2, 3. That would actually only require 2 blocks, and then yeah, it just gets you there much more faster than normal slow bridging. Next, we need to know which items to loot in chests, so you can get to faster. For example, here we know that I have these kind of armor. So if we look here, I do not have a sword, so I'll grab a sword, wood planks, and gapple. I know that all of these other chests, for example, they won't offer things I don't have, like for example, or this. So for this kit, looting 1 chest is sufficient enough, because it gives me like full armor that I need, blocks, and iron sword. Like for example, don't waste your time grabbing leather tunic or stone pickaxe, because stone pickaxes are kind of useless, and I already have a leather tunic with protection 2 and thorns 3. And if we look down here, steak, that's not really useful unless, I mean, if you've already killed a bunch of people like later on in the game and you are running out of hunger, there's a chance that I'll have steak in your inventory already, or you can scapple sufficient for that. So, and also, yeah. So if you're using Disco, what I would grab from chests if you have it are 1 sword, blocks and gapples, or eggs and snowballs. Even if like if there's no gapple in the first chest, it's completely fine. It's not like needed in the first stages. Next, we'll learn about hotkeying. So basically, if you go into options and go to controls, you see that there's like a bunch of things for what your things are binded to. Change these. For example, my hotbar slot 1, which is like this thing, if you don't like the first slot, is set to Q, because my 1 is kind of hard to reach. So if I press Q, it immediately goes to this slot 1 instead of having to press 1. And my the first side mouse button is binded to the 5th slot, and my second one is binded to my 9th slot, which I put my blocks in my 5th. For example, if there's a chest here and you open it, you see that instead of going like grabbing the sword, moving to the 1st slot, grabbing the blocks and moving to the 5th slot and the gapple to the 9th slot, what you can do is if you open the chest and hover over for example, the sword, and press what your like, for example, it's usually 1 or mine is Q. Press what it is, and then immediately press that button, and sends it directly over to the spot. And if I hover over the oak wood planks and I press my first mouse button, it directly sends it over here, and the same with everything else. And this makes it so much easier to rush, instead of having to waste a few more seconds moving the sword over to the slot and stuff like that. Next, we'll be talking about knowing where the chests are on the map. For example, on Aegis, I know the chests are here, and there's also one over theirs, and there's some at mid. And this helps me know like where to rush, so I don't spend like extra minutes trying to figure out where my where the chests are. Now we'll talk about like what you do when you're at mid. So basically, if there's a chest in front of you, But there's also, you should open it, but if there's like someone like a few blocks away, or like close enough that they will reach you by the time you've opened the chest, you should probably kill that person before you actually open the chest and loot, because if you open the chest and loot everything in the chest, the opponent will try to kill you before you make it out. This map is a great example for this thing, because there's one chest and 6 players have to fight for that before they rush mid, and I'll show you what you have to do. So there's someone here, and instead of going for the chest, I went for them instead, because yeah, and I could have opened the chest there, but I decided to kill that person because opening that chest would have got me killed. The last tip is just get good at like just PvP in general, because if you're at rushing, there's gonna be lots of situations where you have to fight it out, and the better you are at PvP, the more games you can win. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It's appreciated a lot. Also, don't join my Discord server down in the description, and follow my Twitch, which is also in the description. Goodbye.